Hello. Is this thing working? I think it's working. It seems to be working. I have a new microphone device to test out tonight. Still getting used to it. Just got it the other day. But that might help my voice sound a little bit better. The other one was pretty old. And it comes with, it was a really cheap mic, and it came with this, like, arm thing. I've never used an arm thing before, so hopefully that is working correctly. Let's see, I've got a controller for some Severed Chains gameplay. I'm going to look at the beta stuff. In particular, I want to check out a bug before I update to the latest version, because this one in particular I thought was very funny. So let me see here. Where is the thingy? How do I do the thingy? How do I do the thingy? There's a thingy I can do. Let's see if I just switch to the gameplay tab, was it? And then I need a display capture. It's already on. Oh, okay. All right, so most of you who are on this channel, you already know that we've got Severed Chain stuff all over the channel, and out of those, most of you know that we had started a beta test recently. And this is to kind of crowdsource and make sure that we've got as many bugs found as possible, so as many bugs can be fixed as possible before Stable 3.0 comes out. It's been a long time coming. We had some delays over the last year, and now we're closing in on the finish line. And there's a lot of really great stuff jam-packed in there if you're not aware already. So basically, we've had a lot of people come in, hundreds and hundreds of people applied to test, and I think out of those, at least many dozen followed through and have checked various things with the help of this guide. So we wrote this guide. It says, hello, welcome to the beta test. It's required reading, and it has some important notes, and then it has some supplemental guides on how to do things. It's even a cute little preview on how to do stuff, so you don't have to leave this page. It's pretty intuitive, at least for the few people on the planet who still use a computer like a desktop computer and not a phone. But I think it's pretty convenient on the phone as well. I am a desktop diehard because of how I grew up. I did not follow the phone exclusive changeover. We got some examples of what to look for. World map, sub map, items, equipment, battle stuff to look for. More supplemental resources like the enemy abilities and behavior list, which is great. Wolves and I built that, I think it was late last year, and it's been improving ever since. And then going to the actual spreadsheet, we have the little info on, hey, this is the second group test. We're doing the guide that I just linked is right here. And then there's issue reporting instructions, and then all the tasks, the individual line items we're making sure function correctly, look correct, sound correct, and all that stuff are in these tabs at the bottom. So our first tab is new features. We've got let's scroll up to the top, some graphics stuff. Screen resolution 240p through 8K are being tested. 60 frames per second on sub maps, which is just the backgrounds that you walk around in. 60 frames on world map, true widescreen. So instead of having it stretched on emulator, you have true widescreen with Severed Chains. We've got some audio stuff. There's some basic options like volume sliders. So you can make it, the FMVs are a little bit lower than the SFX or vice versa. Turn the music all the way off if you just want to hear the sound effects. That's totally up to you. And then some more advanced options as well. Rumble is also coming back. I am very excited about that because we got Rumble. So basically the way this works is not everything is coded from scratch. You know, the LOD's code was reverse engineered into MIPS assembly and then rejiggered into Java. And piece by piece, Monoxide would, modernize whatever was necessary, fix bugs, da-da-da-da-da. But that doesn't mean that everything was from scratch. Like we have to have libraries in place that handle things. And so the library we were using is GLFW. And that is used to do things including, I think, our controller handling. And it does not have Rumble. There's actually a ticket open on the GitHub page for Rumble for over 10 years, and nothing's happening. I offered a bounty of $108. Didn't happen. Monoxide tried another library, Jamepad, and that gave Rumble, and I was so excited about that. But unfortunately, it caused other issues, so we had to revert back to GLFW, and I lost my precious Rumble support. I was very sad about that. And then, power flick. Drawing too much power. Power flick again. Am I still streaming? Because I see no light on the modem. Am I still on the internet? If I open a new tab. Okay, that was really weird. It's still weird. Either I'm blind or the lights are out. Maybe the lights are on. Okay, that was weird. I'm gonna mention that in my chat to my roommates. Well, anyway, what was I talking about? The beta test. Yeah, Rumble. So Monoxide decided that GLFW is not getting much, since GLFW is not getting much support, and because of some very lucky timing involving another library, SDL, SDL commonly used for game dev as well. Their version 3.0 finally came out in January of this year, and so that was kind of like perfect timing to be like, hey, can we actually switch over to that, and does that have Rumble? I'm the one asking that, does that have Rumble? And it turned out the answer was yes. But of course, all of the other stuff is way better too, just more support, more people constantly working on things. So to Monoxide, it was well worth doing some code rewrites to make Severed Chains use SDL. And we have Rumble back, which is very, very important. I am good for the moment. Hi, Celestial Ryan. Welcome to the stream. Little impromptu, little mini party I'm doing. I wanted to be more prepared, but life really hit me hard, so I am doing what I can. All right. So with that being said, there's other features that we're testing as well. Crash recovery autosave, so it won't always work necessarily, but sometimes you might be able to, if there is a crash for whatever reason, recover your save and recover some progress. But always save frequently. We have infinite save slots. It's fine. Use them. That's what they're there for. Hello, Ninshi. Good evening. I am happy to see you. And so most of the new features have been tested, and almost all of them are working as intended. As you can see here, we've got the drop downs, not accurate or accurate. We've got notes from the testers saying what they tested on, or what the dealio is, if anything. Yeah, all right. So then we've got player abilities. So basically the idea is to test every individual thing you can do in Legend of Dragoon. So think of it as like lists of things. So all of the player abilities, that starts with the additions and Shauna's and Miranda's basic attack, the Dragoon transformation, make sure that works. D attacks. Yeah, we have the single in for Miranda and Shauna. Okay. We have the Dragoon magic, usually 4-piece. And then we have the short transform option. That's a retail option. Still have that. We've got the other actions, guard, run away, counter. And then we have battlefields. Several of these have been tested, but we still have a lot left to go. Some of these may not be used in the game, but I think I tried to cut most of the ones that weren't officially used by the game. Like they're just sitting in the data files and they are like just a black background or something. We have minor mobs. There's over 100 of those. Several of those have been tested. Looks pretty good. I'm still sad that Sandor Elite 2 is a minor enemy. It was just way underwhelming. And I think, just really quick tangent, Sandor Elite 2 is one of the prime candidates for needing an overhaul. Um, there are bosses that are underwhelming, but when you have, from the lore implication, Sandor Elite, the first one in Hoax, it's got green flame magic. It's the first human to innately have magic. Like it's artificially, it's some kind of lab experiment, right? It's not like the human was born with the magic, but it's distinct from the item magic. So this is a very big monumental. You hardly even notice it. It's just, hey, it's an enemy soldier with some special abilities. It's a ninja with some green fire. Okay, big deal. But the lore implications are very serious because it's supposed to be that humans can't use magic. And although that is kind of made moot by the whole item magic thing, which I'm still frustrated about to this very day, that is supposed to mean something, that a human can actually use natural magic without having separate like container bags that the party throws or the enemies throw at you. And so, okay, we've got that big fight, and that wasn't even the final thing. It was a back-to-back 2 boss fight, Congo right after that. So you've got the big reveal, the Dragoon thing. It's a big package. It's a big moment, and Sandor Elite helps kick that off. And then you go to Kazas, and you go to the Black Castle, and yeah, you've got like Kongol with sort of magic. He's got the dragon bone armor that lets him do some special abilities, whatever. Still mostly physical character. And then you got Dole with the big magic stuff. But the Sandor Elite 2 was supposed to be, I think, a step up from the Helena, like the Sandora soldiers and the Hellhounds. Like there should be a step between the grunts and the bosses. And I feel like Sandor Elite 2 would have been a good like minor boss or mini boss leading up to Kongol. And it's completely garbage. It's a garbage fight. It's awful. There could have been further like lab experiments since you fought the first Sandor Elite. Lessons learned, and so they augment number 2 to be even tougher, even more challenging. Maybe the apparitions are harder to identify. There are no small and large shadows anymore, or I don't know, something, and more magic abilities to make it be like, wow, this is a threat. We really need to stop what's going on here in the castle, or Dole is gonna completely take over Serdio. That's supposed to mean something until you get Dole. So I think Sandor Elite 2 would be like a great candidate for a mod in Severed Chains. Like make it a proper fight, proper special abilities, and make it fit the lore. Because games I think are best when the combat and the lore have consistency between each other. That's to me the strongest integrity you can have. Anyway, thank you for indulging my tangent there for a moment. Hello, $2 Gargoyle. Good to see you again. That's a name I've seen for many years, it feels like at this point. What's good? Well, we're doing the little mini party, impromptu party. I'm going to be doing some Severed Chains beta gameplay in a moment here, but just reviewing the spreadsheet of how far we've gotten. I'm not going to look at all these tabs, but you can see that many people have come through to test various bosses, battlefields, other things you can do in combat, like status effects, all the items, the consumable items, equipment, making sure all the equipment works, whether it gives you stats or special abilities, some various world map stuff, general stuff about submaps, making sure you can have the location markers working, that the Stardust is being gathered, the shops can be opened and you can buy things from them. We had some dialogue bugs, so that was also on the list here somewhere. And then we have a list of mini games that I recently added. So now it's going to have a lot of things from Lohan, the Queen Fury one, the Phantom Ship one, Catch Pulley. Pulley is the name of that frog-looking creature in Limestone Cave. And then the Snowfield Maze, someone else added that. Thank you to Dower Frost on that front. And other, line items like, do all the goods show up and are they working? And that's pretty much it. Making sure that everything works as intended, plus any of Severed Chain's exclusive features. And that's the stuff. So we got some people working on the full disc playthroughs. That is a long thing, but those will eventually get reported back on some more. Glad you agree, Ninchi. Lore accurate combat is peak. I love the style of the Divine Dragon in the FMV, but it's got like 13 or 14 eyes, and it looks really, really cool. I would love to keep it, but every other part of the game is like there are 1 to 7 eyes, and it is important. So I would love to work in a 13, 14 eye Divine Dragon, but may need to, I don't know, have the extra eyes just be like pseudo eyes, like a spider arrangement or something. I don't know. It looks really cool though. Just they gotta find the right balance between the style and the lore and the combat consistency. Now apparently I just realized music is not playing right now because I'm on a different thingy, and I apologize for that if it sounds a bit too dry without the music, but hopefully the new microphone compensates for that a little bit. And I'm going to switch to the gameplay now, so please let me know if the microphone is too soft. It's a brand new microphone, never used it before, but we're going to find out. So let me turn this off, and then we're going to open the thingy. I think I'll just do that. Now I'm intentionally running an older build. It's probably 4 or 5 days out of date. Excuse me. I don't know exactly, but the reason being there is a model rotation bug, and I really wanted to see this firsthand. I haven't had the time yet. So I'm going to see it firsthand for the first time with all of you, hopefully, if this bug is intact. It's a weird thing to say, an intact bug. And the LED client capture isn't working. Why? What is this? Is this a snapshot? Okay. We got that press button to skip. You want to start from the beginning with music? I may do that, but first I'm going to check for a bug in Volcano Velude. Alright, so first, need to switch us to full screen, and then I want to... Oh yeah, we have a new accessibility option, reduced motion and flashing. So recently we had another person come by talking about accessibility stuff for seizure inducing effects and things like that, and Monoxide made some time to add on some blanket global things just for now, and we'll refine it as we go. Eventually we'll have a whole accessibility like tab where you can individually pick things, but for now it's a all-inclusive thing. Everything is the way I need it. Gameplay. Oh, this is not going to have much because I'm not in a game yet. The audio options, and then the controls. Rumble intensity. Oh, I can't choose 108%. I will take 200 because I'm obsessed with Rumble. More isn't always better, but I feel like this particular controller is a little light on Rumble. Okay, so first I'm gonna cherry pick a save from the volcano, probably in Doom's set. I don't think I can fast scroll. Oh, I can page down. Oh, I can page all the way down. Okay. Where's the volcano? Volcano. Probably here. I need to get to the nest of dragon. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, the menus needed some work for a little while, but they're better now. Left to the volcano. Oh, my mouse is still picking up, pardon me. I don't think I need any items. I'm just gonna go. God, it's so much cleaner. It's hard to go back to emulation knowing just how much, how many imperfections there are, either just due to mistakes in the code or the PS1 limitations. We got the 3D model wobbling effect, which other games suffer from on that console. And just having the models not be twitchy is great. They're nice and crisp, even if they are low poly. Hi, Frosty. This looks difficult a little. I don't know why this... What is going on with Dart's lower legs? Is that what his lower legs actually look like on this model? So, like, he's got the flaps down from his shoes, but then between his shoes and his knees, what's going on with his pants? I just don't understand. But it looks a lot better than retail could ever do. It's just that some of the model parts are moving and some aren't, so it looks kind of difficult. Things that should not have been seen in high res, but did look okay on the... Wait a minute. Is it just me, or did he have red socks? Did he just have... He had red socks until just now. Wait a minute. We're bringing it back. It's time for embiggening. I need to see that model. Oh, not the boat. Is it number 7? No, that's a chest. That's another chest. Okay, there it is. Gonna move that over a little bit. We're gonna move it to maybe over there, and we're gonna make it larger. Now look at Dart's model. See Dart's model over here? He's just got the red kneecaps and dark gray pants, basically. Okay. But here Dart has long red socks or something. That this can't be. I don't know. Is that a... I don't remember the model looking like that, at least in retail or even Severed Chains. This seems new. Might be something to log. I'm not sure. So let's go to the Discord. And is Dart having red socks a known issue? LMAO. Oh, I'm getting a signal drop maybe? Let me know if the stream is stuttering. Seems like I'm sending plenty of data, but I'm getting a red bar on signal quality. Yeah, I'm gonna probably show this to Monoxide. Let's make that 1-on-1. Nope. We're gonna move that over a little bit. It's underneath the thing, so I'm gonna have to move it over to the other side. Way over to the other side. 388. for 22. And no, I don't want to do it like that. I want to do a rectangular. All right, thank you, Dejana Games. We're getting a lot of flicks going on here. What is... Am I just... What is that? Let me unplug this. And unplug this. I'm not drawing more power than usual. Okay, apparently we're having a breaker flip in another part of the house, and this part is somehow holding intact. I don't know how. Pardon me, I just need to make sure that the power is actually working before I continue. So, looks like we're good to resume. Now, going to the volcano. Are y'all ready to see what... Well, I hope will be a funny... Oh my god. Well, that's worse. I forgot about this. So, if you use the debugger in Severed Chains, and you're looking at, you know, submap stuff, the model stays loaded when you switch maps, and then it gets texture corrupted because it's not designed to be there, basically. And this can actually take place all the way into battle. I don't think there's that many models for this, or that many animations. So we can just sit there and chill. But I'm going to disable that. Now, hopefully, I will find a bugged DeBoss saving DeBoss scene. We'll see if that actually works or not. See if the bug works, because that's the whole reason I didn't update to the latest code for this little live stream. Running away from the Firebird, who I like to call Python, because that's what it's called in the European release for some reason. Yeah. Bad placement. This is just an item. I don't need this. There's the boss. Now, the funny thing about this location, this is the location where, you know, you go over here, and then later you come down over here, and the boss is down here. How did he get from all the way back there to here? That's not... He's cheating. Didn't have to follow the same path as us to get there. I mean, there's, you know, you assume there's other paths that the game doesn't let you walk along, but still feels a bit funky. Alright. Let's try and dodge most of these fish. Oh, do I have to fight... I have to fight Virage first. I might just control W that, because I really did just want to show the bug. But maybe I'll just do both fights really quick. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll try it. What's the party status? Okay, anyway. Volcano. Do Rod Typhoon, that's a good time. Might as well fight the Virage while we're here. And then we'll check the bug. Rose is like, you know about the Dragon campaign, right? And they know nothing about the Dragon campaign. Why would they know anything about the Dragon campaign besides, like, that it happened? I don't know. Okay. Let's fight a Virage. Strategy. Strategy is... just go for the head. Do I have automatic? I do have automatic on. How much damage does this do anyway? 83 damage. That's a hefty number right there. What's up, Ninji? Yeah, you don't think you've ever asked what my favorite edition is? I don't remember. I've told random numbers of fans who have asked me in the past. I don't know if you were one of them, but I'm gonna say it's probably just Flower Storm. Like I debate this a lot in my head because I'm the kind of person that loves just about everything about the game, so it's hard to have favorites sometimes. But it's gonna be probably Flower Storm for some contextual reasons, like loving the voiceover of Lavitz, Mike Marks. I actually have some news about that potentially. I gotta do some research and see if I can reveal a thing or not. But Flower Storm is weird because he says Rose Storm, but the addition is so elaborate, and technically you can see that with Albert, and even Dart's Blazing Dynamo are pretty extravagant looking. But there's something about it that it's just a thing. It ended up being my ritual to go straight to Flower Storm before fighting Frugal 1, and sometimes even before rescuing Shauna. So right outside the prison tower, or inside the prison tower, right outside her cell, is the only place you can get the 3x Warden spawn. And that's where I would train Dart and Lavitz, mostly just so Lavitz could get to the level required for Gust of Wind Dance so he could get Flower Storm and then max out Flower Storm and one-shot Frugal. And then come back to Helena, one-shot him again with Jade Dragon. It was my ritual for years and years and years. It takes way too long, though. It takes way too long. But yeah, I'm going to say Flower Storm, even though there's several that I like and it's hard to rank them. The penultimates, in general, are my kind of jam. Hardblade, love the style of Hardblade. Moonstrike. Hexhammer is pretty fun to look at. But it has to be Lavitz's Flower Storm. Albert's Flower Storm, it's okay, but it's... I think it's just because I'm so in love with the voice acting of Lavitz compared to Albert. Like, Albert sounds like a well-voiced character, but it's Lavitz for me. When it comes to combat, Lavitz. Pretty much. And even Virage is going Lavitz. Fire. Ouch. That's a lot of damage. But no matter, we're about done. It truly is a mission. Yeah, pre-Albert alone, let alone, like, just Helena. Not even leaving Helena. Like, you get so much... It's a very slow trickle, but you get so much gold out of that, too. More than you're ever going to need. Like if you ignore the OP legend gear, you never need gold farming. You never have to farm gold to buy anything. Like you're buying the early heat blade, otherwise you miss out on a lot of uses for it by getting it late in that free chest. So you buy it early in Kazas. That doesn't cost much. And then sometimes you buy like, what is it, a Sage's Cloak or a magical ring or something, and way late in Disc 4. There's not much that you really need. That's partly because a lot of the gear for sale is not worth buying because it's just not competitive or whatever, or you already got a free one in a chest, but that can all be solved with mods. Rebalanced gear, new gear. He's the real main character, yeah. He needs to go through what he goes through for there to be extra motivation for the main party, the rest of the party. But I've toyed with the idea of an alternate scenario where Albert dies instead. I really want to toy with that in detail and do some deep story writing to see if I can make it fit on every plot point that it needs to fit on without any holes or conflicts. Because I feel like the loss of a king is very problematic for Basil in staying afloat in the Surgeon War. And it would be extreme motivation for Lavitz to, you know, at first get revenge on Sandora, but then realize it's a bigger world and go through that whole thing as Dart does, you know. And then he'll get a burning rush, just like Dart. But yeah, I want to toy with that story at some point. Now, I don't know if this bug is going to play out the way I'm hoping, but I've seen this. And if it doesn't proc, I will be sad. I may just go find the video on Discord. So this is the Saving Dabas cutscene. And if you haven't seen it on our Discord server under the issue reports, hopefully it plays out beautifully wrong. Now normally the party tries to pull them up and they work together. Yep, it worked. The bug worked. Normally they pull him up forward, but Dart decided to do a 180 and be like, hey, grab my butt instead. That'll... I got really strong thighs that'll pull you up. That was great. It's only a split second, and it just will forever be in my heart now. That's super fun. Okay. So I guess I will knock out the Firebird really quick. And it looks like Sergeant Slick requested that I start fresh, so I'll probably do that right after. Sometimes, you know, when I do these streams, even when I plan them out well in advance, it can be hard to pick which section I'm going to play because there's a lot of content in LOD, you know, it's a long story, it's an RPG, but I've played it all so much, and it's like, which part can I pick that will be interesting enough to show off for the 10th time, you know? And I can only do so many different, like, alterations or changes to keep it interesting, and so it's kind of hard to choose. But then again, I guess I shouldn't be worried about that, because LOD is a single-player, offline, linear RPG, and plenty of fans still enjoy replaying it to this day, which is really saying something, because I mean, it just makes sense. If you love it, you'll keep playing it, kind of like if you really like a movie, you'll keep watching it every, you know, few months or a couple times a year, or a rewatch of a TV show, which is a whole other thing. But for me, this game is a little harder to replay doing a full playthrough, because I've played it just so many damn times. And also, I often compare it, because of my childhood, I compare it to Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, or Gold, Silver, Crystal, the mainline games for Game Boy Color way back in the day. That was like my first RPG, probably, followed by LOD. And so I would get through, like, I would do a complete playthrough of Pokemon. And it was weird because these days I'm all about, you know, long-term progress, not restarting. Like there are people who will play an online game like I play World of Tanks, and some people will just re-roll a new account for just because, just to re-experience the grind or starting over. Or, I don't know. And I can sort of understand that, but like for various reasons, I've come to just keep things. I have one account that is my forever account on a given service or a game or whatever. But with Pokemon, you only had one save slot. So the only way to save my stuff and start over was to do a complete playthrough and never save, so that I don't wipe my old progress, where I've beaten the Elite Four already and I have all my stuff trained up to 100 or whatever. Especially in Gold, Silver, Crystal, when I would have like a shiny or something. But I just kept overriding my save because I was a kid and because I didn't care. And I kind of missed that almost, the ability to not care so much about losing progress. Like I can deal with it, but you know, now I'm an archivist, so it's kind of in my DNA now. It's in my blood. It's kind of a weird thing. But the point being, Pokemon is a pretty decently sized adventure, but it is on a handheld, a very tiny handheld. And so playthroughs are shorter, and it's easy to just do a new playthrough, do a new playthrough, do a new playthrough. Usually pick the same starter, but maybe change your main 6 party member loadouts. Maybe change your route order a little bit, because there's parts of the game that you can decide which part to do first. And so for me, it's way easier to do a complete playthrough of Pokemon, or even more extremely, Star Fox 64, because that playthrough is like 45 minutes to an hour. Way short. Way short. So easy to pick that up whenever the hell I want. It's less dense, it's small, it's contained. Hopefully that makes sense. And Ninchi, you got a point that Basil does lose the king anyway. I never really agreed with that. Like, your top knight and your king are leaving in a critical time of the truce falling apart. Does not make any sense. Just the narrow tunnel vision RPG. Heroes got to go on an adventure. Let's see. What do I want to do? Oh, I'm so close to a Dragoon level. We're giving Martell Stardust. Hello, Dark Louse. Good to know. I assume that's logged in the test somewhere. But I mean, I think it's... Sorry, getting back to the present, I believe that bug is already fixed, which is why I'm on this old build, so I don't accidentally update it. I wanted to see that saving to boss seat, and it was well worth the 2 seconds that it lasted for. We'll do a Spear Frost. How much damage is this going to do? 120? Let's say 120. Type advantage should be at least 120. 192. I was way off. I underestimate my power. So after knocking out Firebird, I can do a fresh playthrough, just do a chill little, work back up to it, turn on the manual additions and things, see how much I lose the additions. Yeah, things have changed. Python is such an interesting boss fight. Like, he's so easy to defeat if you have a couple Spear Frosts, which is kind of a shame. Like, I wish some bosses had like a limit their weakness ability, like some kind of temporary barrier that inhibits magic, so you can't just nuke them down super easy. Like, if you use 2 item magics that are opposite element, it'll activate a special barrier, like some kind of reactive thing. What is it? There's another game that does it, where it like changes the element. So like, let's say the Firebird used the environment to temporarily change its element to earth or something, up its defense and make it not weak to water anymore. and you wouldn't have a spinning gale at this point. Maybe alter its abilities until it sheds that rock armor and comes back to a fire form. Don't know. Weird ideas in my head. Now, if I don't knock out Firebird now... Yep. Oh, it didn't even hurt her that much. Alright, let's finish it off with a something. With a D attack. Because Flame Shot's not going to do crap. Or even like, you know, it's kind of like a Phoenix. Have some kind of resurrection ability where, you know, you think you defeated it, but it actually has a bunch more hit points left, and it comes back with more abilities. Like a stage 2 of this fight would be really cool. Yeah. I mean, technically, you know, our time being valuable, it's a fluid idea for me because, like, I value my time, and I'm still playing Legend of Dragoon over and over and over and over again. Technically, it's to try and build up my career, doing the LOD services and linking with and platforming for severed chains and all of that, and expanding from there to other games and other ports and stuff. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, it's a lot of Legend of Dragoon that I could spend on other things. But I guess it's just being intentional about how you waste your time. Did you waste your time well? I think is the way some people have described it, and that definitely applies to me. If you're going to waste your time, be a little intentional about it. You know, have days where you just do nothing for several hours to recover and do whatever. But when it comes to like larger time sinks, like doing a game playthrough, like set an intention, make sure that you're really enjoying yourself and you're getting what you want out of it, whether it's, you know, mindless combat or deep story to inspire you, whatever the case may be. A little bit of everything. Sure. The boss is a really animated individual, just like for regular talking, he's flapping his arms way high in the air, like, I'll be back at Lohan soon. Alright, so what's after this? Is it Dragon's Nest? Probably. Yep, Dragon's Nest. Hey, I think I'll just start fresh. That was a request, so that's what I'm going to do. Hey, Scream Twice. I've seen you in the Discord server, I believe. Welcome. I'm just doing a simple little party stream, if I can remember what the buttons are. Oh yeah, we have a load feature now, right from the menu. That's pretty fun. But you can't load a new campaign, ironically enough. That's okay. Feature needs an upgrade. Yeah, I think that is really important, for sure. I guess I more meant like the private playthroughs I've done that weren't necessarily in service of anything. But I mean, if you look at, like, you could be playing other games. You could play new games. You don't have to play new games. There's the whole, like, new games aren't always as fun anymore because of the societal standards that are baked into them now, whether it's microtransactions or they're usually online and you want an offline one, and you might be, you know, one of the many people in poverty, so that's more reason to play what you've already got, especially if you already have hundreds of them. You're fine. And there's all that context that goes into it now. So yeah, I have no problem playing old stuff. I have no problem at all. I actually did. I found a new game called Colony Ship, and the reason for this was I was looking for demos because I love trying things so I know whether I'm going to want to buy it or not, right? Do I enjoy the combat? Do I enjoy the aesthetic? Give me a fair slice so I know if this is something I want to invest in, instead of just paying blindly and then having to deal with refunds if that's even available or not. That's just how I do. Try it before you I don't like doing blind purchases. And it's hard to say because, like, movies, there's not really a demo for movies, and trailers usually can spoil the ending a little bit. So that's weird for me, where like they don't offer the first 20 minutes free or anything. But when it comes to games, I like to try them out. And so I found this demo. I was looking specifically for games about generation ships, whether you're doing stuff on the ship on the way to its destination, or it is a generation ship that just arrived to its new planet, or it's about to leave. Just something about a generation or colony ship to a new destination. And I only found one, and it was called Colony Ship, and it's midway to its destination. There was a mission in place, but it's going to take, like, what is it, 400 years or several hundred years to get there, and the people just couldn't stick to the mission, knowing that they would die long before the ship reaches destination. They're just supposed to accept living on the ship with limited resources, not using the stuff that's on the ship that's reserved for when they hit planetfall. And that really intrigued me, and so I ended up getting the whole game. And it was just released, like, what, 2 years ago? Not even 2 years ago. And it's a really retro style game in its design. Like, it feels like I guess the first Fallout or the second Fallout. It's kind of an XCOM like with its combat. It's really interesting. Really, really interesting game. It feels like an old game, but it's pretty much a brand new game. Very weird. Very weird experience. If you like spaceship stuff, there's not really any spaceships in the game. You're just on the ship. But if you didn't know the setting, it would look like it's just some dystopian place, dystopian planet, but it is on a ship. I kind of recommend it. It's pretty fun for me. But anyway, automatic text delay, that will be useful. I would like that on. I want to do manual edition, see how well I do. Autosave on crash is fine. Still going to have mash on for accessibility purposes. My hands are not one hundo. Do short transforms. And no encounters for now. Maybe I'll keep them on. HP bars, no. Icon set enhanced is fine. Indicators on. I prefer momentary. Quick text, yes. Save anywhere, yes. Bench. One hundo. Unlock party. And wrap to the top. Graphics. We got all the graphics. Do I have input? Where's the input on an active window? Yeah, that's on. Okay. No, I don't have the new versions of those. That's fine. Well, firstly, I need to update the code as well. So I'm going to start the campaign, save, and then patch up. FMV placement is weird. Large black border. Don't know what's going on there. We got the rumble.
Great Commander, this way.
So, this is her.
Oops.
Indeed. Put her in custody. Is this really necessary?
It is His Majesty, Emperor Dole's command to take that girl into custody.
Who is she?
That is not your concern.
So that running away section with all the anteater horses, one of them had a like a trident because they were carrying various kinds of weapons. One of them was a trident or something, some kind of pole arm, and it kept like flailing a lot, like it was attached to the horse's leg or something. It was really odd. It's like that's not steady. That's not good. All right, Fairbrand. I always get big feels when I start a new playthrough, even if I'm not going to see it all the way through. There's something about the beginning. It's like haunting, but in a good way. Now, something I want to know. If there's a auto advance text delay, can I still manually advance it? Yep, I can still advance it early. Okay. Hello, David. Remaster when? I mean, technically there are elements of Severed Chains, like core features of Severed Chains that make it feel remastered, like we got the 60 FPS and da-da-da-da-da. But this is, to be clear, just a port for PC and Steam Deck. There will be mods that help it feel like a remaster or a remake, but we avoid those terms for legal reasons, just saying. But there will surely be mods that make it feel that way, absolutely. There's going to be the upscale project with the high-res background images. We're going to probably have some texture mods and higher poly 3D models at some point, all kinds of things. Battlefields completely redone, I can see it happening. But in the meantime, this is already a huge facelift, huge facelift compared to what emulation is capable of. Hello, Chase. Yeah, I bet it brings back a lot of memories and feels. Okay, so I'm about to get player control, and then I will update to the latest version now that I've looked at that bug. And I don't know if there will be anything obviously new, but I know Monoxide's been plugging away on the code. Hello, bad or body. Not sure how to pronounce that. 108. Is that 108 in honor of Legend of Dragoon by chance, or maybe something else like Suikoden, or maybe it's just numerology? But 108 is a very important number in LOD, and I love to see it. Yeah, we've got 60 FPS everywhere except battle, but battle still looks smoother because of the improved animation code. Everything is really nice and smooth, especially on the idle animations. If you look at Dart here, there is like zero glitching pretty much. On original hardware, there's going to be some wobbling, and on the emulation releases for PS3, there's going to be some issues. PS4 and 5, there's some issues because they have automatic model smoothing, which makes them look worse, I would say. And then you have PC emulation with like Beetle or DuckStation, which has the PGXP model corrections and makes it look decently better. But this is as good as it gets with native reverse engineered port. Getting it looking nice and smooth. Ah, I couldn't do the addition. Gotta remember my timings. And these will also look better once we adapt battle to 60 FPS, but that's going to require a whole different version to work on because there's going to be a lot of code to detangle. How am I not doing it? Must be going too early. There we go. I was too early. Some healing pots. So in terms of the full motion videos, that's difficult because they're just the format is IKI. It's a video type, and it includes these like compressed artifacted JPEGs basically. There's nothing we can do to clean that up really. They'll look slightly better than they do on original hardware or on emulation. But to really make them look better, simply speaking, you would need to upscale the videos because that's easier than making them completely from scratch, or make them from scratch when you've got the devotion and the skill to make it look not awful. Because it takes a hell of a lot of work to make it look good and have it, you know, recreate all the movements angle for angle, shot by shot. It's a lot of work. I would love to see it. I think we're going to get some like, short demonstrations of what that could look like for sure, especially the Dragon campaign flashback FMV. We could make that look really good with enough skill and efforts, but that would be so much work. And even if you just do the AI upscaling, that's still a lot of work just making that not look like a hot mess because the source images on these FMVs are so low res. But there will be support for FMV modding, so you could insert modified or brand new FMVs that play at different parts of the game. The whole point is that so long as there is effort from modders, the sky will be the limit, just to be clear. Alright, so I think I already saved. I did. I'm going to quit the game really quick. We have a quit to menu option. Very nice. And then we also have a quit on the title screen. So I'm going to update the code because now I'm done looking at that bug. And we're going to go like here, and we're going to go here, and we're going to go to update. How many files are updated? 3 files and 2 commits. Sorry, I wasn't too far behind. And now we'll relaunch. The 108 was randomly added from the name generator Club Penguin had back in the day. Well, that's fitting. If you like LOD, 108 is a great number to have on your username. Yeah, there's a few different versions I've seen as well. Lothar, a few different YouTube channels have been experimenting with several games, actually. Hi, Chocolate. Good to see you. Now that I'm on the latest code, I don't think Monoxide added anything crazy in the last couple commits. And for those of you who've never seen this before, we've got a link section. You can look at the Discord community, our YouTube channel. That's us. Hello. The general website with all things LOD unified together. The wiki. Hey, I've made several of these things on this list. The Severed Chains project page, which is part of our website, and then the GitHub page where the open source repo, the repository, is stored, as well as reporting an issue. Pretty nice. We're gonna go to continue. And we're back. We've already done some crazy things in Severed Chains over the last few years. Getting up to version 2.1 was a big milestone so that it could be competitive with emulators. Now we're surpassing emulators. It's been a long road in that way. Modding is starting to unfold, but we've had to work on the graphics overhaul first. And despite that, there's still some really interesting mods. There's the Battle Rewards mod, simply increases or decreases your gold and XP earned from battle. You can even set the XP to 0 and do a initial level challenge where your characters don't level up, the main character level anyway. And you have to kind of hop between every new party member you get to try and survive all the successive boss fights that there are. And going into endgame, it's pretty tough sometimes. So you kind of ebb and flow between hyper easy and hyper hard over and over again. There's also the more involved Iron Goon. That is a randomizer. Lots of things can be randomized. Stats can be randomized and swap between characters. Like Kog'Maw can get Maru's speed value and all kinds of crazy stuff. We also have the signature Dragoon modifier, formerly hard mode way back in the day from Zychronics. That is pretty much done. Just waiting for a few things to get in place for that to release for either the late dev build here or by the time Stable 3.0 is done for Severed Chains. Excuse me. Got a little bit of the hiccups. Look at that nice close view of Dart. It's so satisfying hitting the addition timings with no input delay. Emulation and original hardware a little bit have input delays, so you're pressing the button in advance of the timings on screen. You're leading your target, if you will. And in Severed Chains, you no longer need to lead your target. We may or may not input a delay option if you want to restore the old timing feels. But although it takes some getting used to, I think it's superior because the devs of Legend of Dragoon were obviously going for immersion and cinema and style and all these things. And in terms of the immersion, the interactivity that they were so proud of, maximum immersion is doing the timings right when they happen. Like, I think that makes sense. Way satisfying to do it live instead of in advance. But interestingly, I think that makes the counterattack, stopping enemy counterattacks more difficult. Because with enemy counterattacks, I don't know how to describe it. It's like you have to press in advance, so technically you have to know when it's going to happen, but it just feels like certain counters are way easier for me to stop on emulation compared to Severed Chains, because when you have to press it live, you have to be ready like right the split second the counterattack visuals end. It's just weird. I don't know how to explain that better, but it feels harder for me. Yes, there's a randomizer mod. Ninchi, how do you not know this, Ninchi? We've been plastering this all over the place and not even reading our updates. My heart breaks. I know there's a world outside Legend of Dragoon. I just don't always acknowledge it. So, last year, Inc. was working on a randomizer, and we were pretty excited about the potential for that. Weren't exactly sure like which things would be changing, would be RNG based all of a sudden. And it turns out a lot of things can be adjusted and tooled. Made a website where you could change the configuration and decide exactly which parts get randomized or not. It's pretty cool. And eventually it came out and has had updates to its versions ever since, and it's called Dragoon. So if you go to the Discord server and you go into the modding forum channel, where there's a topic for every mod people are working on or theorizing, there should be one for Dragoon. And that's where there's an original post with the basic info, and then everyone's chatter about it since then. It's pretty darn cool. Maybe I'll feature it on the channel here. Get Ink on as a guest host to speak to the mod and help me in case I flounder with it, because the config, some of the config stuff is like way over my head. Plos's detached head. Alrighty. Let's grab a Stardust. What's this? It's Stardust. Dart, how do you even know it's Stardust if you don't know what it is? It should say acquired Mystery Stone. Mystery Stone Fragment. I mean, they do that with the goods. Father's Stone later becomes the Red IDS in the goods list. They should call it mystery stuff until you talk to Martel. And so you could have like 50 pieces of mystery stones, not knowing what they are, and skip talking to Martel until the very end, or even just never find out. Just Dart will never know what the mystery stones are. I find that a little funny. Man in Hood. Like, there's no gameplay reason for these wardens to be on those lower levels down there, but it just really adds to the atmosphere that it's not just, here's a background and two characters talking in it. Like, this is a living place. There are wardens patrolling because it's a prison, even though they don't do anything besides walk on that platform. And we're going to the forest, which for some reason doesn't look darkened. I don't know if that's currently bugged or not. Having a child takes a lot of your free time. Yes, I was only kidding. There is a world outside of LOD, unfortunately. But I hope you can get some time to enjoy it, because it's... I haven't played it much, but I've seen it, and it's pretty funny. And potentially very challenging. You know what else is challenging is being low on HP when fighting two enemies. Oh, am I going to game over? Oh god, how much HP do I have? 7. I have 7 hit points. Oh god. This is not good. Let's switch editions. Can I... I really shouldn't. I should just use the healing potion and not be a daredevil. At some point I'm going to be doing a video covering the current status of modding in Severed Chains. There won't be too much to cover, but we'll be talking about what's coming up next and then the far future. Just a nice little overview, maybe like 3 minutes kind of a video. It was originally going to be uploaded last year, but then stuff kept coming up But now there's more things I can talk about, so that's good. Let's show off fast forward. A little too fast. If you want to guard fast, save some time, you can do that. And back down. Good stuff. Hello, Mystical Zeus. You were never able to get past the final boss on disc 1 because you always did attack, attack, attack. Am I live on Twitch as well? I currently do not stream on Twitch. I used to stream on Twitch all the time, actually, before I went to YouTube. I have been thinking about it because we've considered, like, hey, could we expand our audience quite a lot by streaming on Twitch in addition to YouTube and doing, like, a multi-stream thing? I need to do some tests for that. I definitely have the capability now, thanks to our internet randomly getting an upgrade. I think it was related to the, what was it, FCC order, or regulation on what broadband is defined as in terms of the speeds. And we found out that we were on 100 megabits down, 100 megabits per second download speed. But we were actually, what we were paying was the 300, so we asked them, hey, can you just bump us up to what's advertised? And we got 300 megabits down, so our download speed increased. But our upload speed was still like 10 megabits per second upload, which is barely 1080p, if I remember right. And there was some help with the AV1 encoding for OBS and GeForce graphics cards, so I was excited about that, and that helped a little bit. But I still wanted to do 4K 60 FPS for when Severed Chains has 4K 60, which is where we are now. By chance, the timing worked out that we just got like a super bump up to like 100 megabits per second upload, which is more than I need for 4K, even for 2 streams, I think. So I'm going to be figuring out what the sweet spot will be on the bitrate for that, and hopefully we can stream on YouTube and Twitch and figure out an easy way to keep track of chat on both of those, because I don't want to, you know, have people asking questions and then me not answer them would be bad. So hopefully we can find a way to facilitate that, or just have people designated as mods on the other stream or something, and they can forward stuff to me if needed. But I've been, although I haven't streamed on Twitch recently, I have checked out LOD streamers on Twitch. I'm always looking for new fans I haven't met before to cheer them on, just enjoy what they're doing, whether they're fighting Sandor Elite or Wendigo or whoever, and I'll be like, yeah, you know, ask them how they found LOD, learn more about them, tell them about Severed Chains sometimes. Basically, anytime someone asks for a remaster or a remake, and I say, then I go and I say, have you tried Severed Chains? It's pretty good. As close as we can get, pretty much, and it'll be able to make it feel that way. And sometimes they have no idea about anything with the LD community. Other times they already apparently know, because apparently our reach has been successful to some degree. I'd be like, oh, it's Drew Universe. And they treat me like some kind of honored guest, and I'm like just trying to be humble about it. Like I know I got to the point of being the #1 fan on accident, but these days, like, I'm intentionally serving the fandom, so like I get it. But I just, you know, thank him for being excited about LOD stuff, you know. Level up. Where am I going? Am I going here? No, I was already going the right way. Oops. Can't wait for online co-op. Yeah. I'm glad some people remember when we mentioned that was coming and or prototyped it. I want to see if that can be brought up to the current build otherwise. Like, that branch hasn't been updated since. I'm wondering if it could be synced so it can look way better. maybe sometime after 3.0 on another dev stream, Monoxide will be willing to have another like one night expansion of the feature. If we can get beyond just guarding and an accidental bug that causes dual additions for 2 party members at once. That was super fun. You definitely think it would expand the audience, Mystical Zeus? Yeah, it would. It would. I chose YouTube for a number of reasons. I think it's time to go back to Twitch at least a little bit. I have some feels over it just on the basis of, you know, it's controlled by Amazon, and if you know much about Amazon, it's not really something I want to fuel, but me boycotting it doesn't stop everyone else from keeping it in its Titan status anyway, so, you know, it's in the end it's about the audience, not so much just the platform and what the company is doing. I get that. But there was that, and then there was also the whole unless you're a Twitch partner, which is a really high bar to reach, if you're only a Twitch affiliate, you only get transcoding sometimes, and that was a big no-no for me. I would either have to stream in low quality for everyone's accessible benefits, for anyone with low internet speeds, or I would stream in high quality, and then the people with bad internet wouldn't be able to watch. So it was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. And so my workaround at the time was to just keep starting and stopping my stream until I got the transcoding enabled on that particular live stream, and then I would keep it on. It was not a good experience, just to ensure that people could choose the quality setting. I think that has expanded since then, so I'm less worried about that now. Don't know if I can stream in 4K over there, but I will see what their limits are. Like, they used to have really low limits, really low limits for streaming bitrate. Hopefully I'll be able to do something, especially with the AV1 codec. We'll see what they support. And also the third reason was they no longer made it so that you have to stream exclusively on Twitch. There was something about that, so I think it's going to be way easier to stream live on multiple platforms now that they don't demand exclusivity. Yeah, combo editions. Hey, maybe I'll try to fire it up for you. Like, I'll see if I can run 2 instances of it and find the old build. It was pretty fun. Now, it didn't work flawlessly. Like, it's a bug, so it's not going to work flawlessly. But if you had short editions, like Double Smack and Whip Smack, they would finish the... I don't like this power flicker. Like, are we just drawing too much power somehow? Someone got a... No one's using a space heater. The space heater used to do it. Like, literally the only thing different about my setup is the microphone, and I know it's not drawing that much power. It's kind of creeping me out, that number of power flicks. It used to be, hey, will the stream stay on? And now it's, will the lights stay on? Very odd. Anyway. Save, save, save. Unlimited slots, might as well. Get caught by the merchant. But yeah, I'll probably fight Frugal, and then I'll see if I can fire that up for us. The .net, the net branch, whatever it's called, main.net, I think it's called. And that was like over a year ago at this point. It's so weird to think that we started that venture a long time ago. If only there wasn't a million other things to do. Because I'm planning, like, once we have online co-op stable, like, I'm definitely going to be doing guest playthroughs where, like, just random fans can come on, or people who have been in the community a while. We can chat and we can do stuff, have some fun. Because couch co-op is fun, but I wish we could have that long distance so that people that you're friends and family with who are long distance, you can still play with them even though they don't live near you anymore, you know? The Rumble is feeling great right now. I'm really enjoying the Rumble on editions. And I'm crossing my fingers that we can stay on this new SDL library thing so I never lose Rumble again. Never ever again. I am like the #1 enthusiast for Rumble in this fandom. I don't understand it. I thought there'd be someone else. But it's just me for the most part. To the point that Monoxide has like joked about disabling the feature just because of my over enthusiasm for it. Or something like that. Yeah, we're going to do online co-op. We're going to do online PvP. And we're also going to have online leaderboards for minigames. And that'll probably include potentially new minigames. We'll have to think about how we do the logistics of that. But definitely for the canonical minigames. We'll have leaderboards for dodgeball. We'll have leaderboards for the obstacle course. Hopefully we can prevent cheating on that and make sure everyone's times are legitimate. But yeah. So for example, the way all these new features work in Severed Chains is in terms of the modding API, the core Severed Chains dev team is not promising to make all of the umpteen mods specifically. It's about building the framework, the skeleton. And once the skeleton exists, you can, place the body parts on it, if that makes sense. So the dev team may occasionally do a prototype as a proof of concept, like Playable Lloyd. The proof of concept... We did the proof of concept. Monoxide showed like Miranda transforming into a Dragoon, and we just subsumed her Dragoon form for Armored Lloyd or something. We didn't get it super working, but we showed that it was possible. Because we understand that in order to sell the modding API, you have to show what it can do, right? Not just say, hey, we put the code in, now modders work with that code. But yeah, mostly Severed Chains dev team makes the framework, and it's up to modders to then do things with it. But to a limited extent, we will offer certain things natively through SC to some basic extent that people can work with it right away. And then modders can choose to customize that functionality of the API or whatever in a certain way. So for the purposes of the early test, all we did was get guarding to work, and even then it would cause desyncs. So it was a one-night exploration, and that's a lot, because you have to understand building multiplayer. If you know how to write code, it's fine, but building an entire harness takes a while. So the fact that out of nothing a single player game has any multiplayer functionality at all, it was a total dream in a single evening. It's hard to understate how impactful that was. So I'm probably going to pick up Lavitz, pick up Shauna, fight Frugal, and then just go straight to showing y'all what that looks like. But to what I was trying to say, the idea is that, at least for the initial concept, only combat will be synchronized, because getting two players' positions reporting to each other on submaps is a lot of work. How do you make the game handle when one person exits a submap but you don't? Do you both go to the new submap? Or are you now both on different submaps? And if you're on different submaps, what if one person activates the story content and you don't? Do you get pulled into that, or do you also activate it yourself? It's we have to figure out how that all would even work, and we may not even have the dev team power to address that. So for now, it's only expected to be through battle. So one person runs the story, moves the character around in the world, but then the player 2 will come into any battle and play as one or two of the other characters. So player 1 could be Dart, player 2 could be Lavitz, whatever. And you would take turns more naturally that way, instead of passing the controller. One more fan for the Rumble feature. Thank you, Chase. I do not want to be alone in my Rumble enthusiasm. But in addition to online co-op, I don't usually care much for PvP in games. It depends on the game. But for LOD, I will do PvP all day, every day for a while. Combat isn't always my strongest suit, so I'm hoping that various fans will surpass me in leaderboards and things. But I certainly want to try. And I'm not one to have a giant ego, but I am curious if people can, you know, defeat the #1 fan, especially one that accidentally became the #1 fan. I did not intend for this path in my life. It's kind of weird. But it'll just be cool to see, like, hey, with the stock, with like the vanilla stats for the characters and the gear and everything, are people going to one-shot each other, or does the math actually work out that they can, you know, take several hits but not too many or too little hits? Because if we have to do a lot of balance tweaking, then it might be hard to facilitate that. But hopefully it'll be fine the way it is. And then we'll, you know, a normally single-player game, Legend of Dragoon, will suddenly have a online meta for what are the most competitive builds when versing other players online in Legend of Dragoon. What a weird concept, right? And I imagine there'll be just a basic versus lobby, but I also want to facilitate tournaments. I used to do tournaments. I'm not a super pro at it, but I have done tournaments and or camera and or commentator casting for a number of games, including StarCraft 2. I think my most prolific was doing Latin America. So if anyone is familiar with the StarCraft 2 pro scene at all, I think I casted a few games of some higher tier players like Jim Rising. Not the absolute top players in the world, but certainly pretty high up there. And I've done things for racing games, so I know about spectator cameras and stuff. It would be really cool to facilitate a tournament and like cast and commentate, whether it be round robin or single or double elimination, see which parties people choose, eventually get custom characters into the mix with custom rule sets. That would be fantastic. Maybe other online features like speedrun integration would be pretty fun, I think. So you can have a built-in timer. You don't have to manually press a stop button. It'll automatically stop at the exact millisecond you finish the game or reach the target for the speedrun. Having all your splits be absolutely perfect without having to remember to push a button would be pretty cool. Because this is a long game to play, and Severed Chains really cuts down on all the load times and everything. So for people who are worried about, you know, it's an RPG, not a racing game with like a 3-minute track you going around. It's a 10 hours world record right now without skips. If we can cut that down to 7 or 8 hours, it might be more manageable for people. And that also means a disc 1 run would be a lot more manageable for people as well. Sure thing, Zealous Justice. Hello. You're in good company. We love the game too, obviously. It's a very bold wish list. Like, it's supposed to be a fantasy wish list normally, but if you look out and your fandom has like a single senior engineer who has got the time to burn, even with like a job, and really wants to do it and can make a quality port out of it, and then expand the modding platform, make it an expanded modding platform as well. I went to Monoxide and I was like, I think it had just become playable in August 2022, and shortly after that we started doing collabs and stuff, and I was like, can I bring you like a list of 10 or 15 things and you tell me which ones are easy or hard to make? And he said sure. And I asked a number of things that are going to be, you know, easy or hard to make, features, whatever. And I said, what about multiplayer, like co-op or PvP? And I expected him to say that's more involved. He said, no, we could do that. And I was like, wait, what? You're saying we can actually just do that? And he said, yeah. And I was like, holy shit. Obviously, certain kinds of mods or things for the modding API will be tougher to code for, and then certain types of mods to make as modders will be tougher or easier to work on. Like, story mods will probably be the most involved thing. Other mods might be easier, like making a difficulty mod for combat. But the whole idea is to make creating mods easier and make more types of mods possible or feasible. Like, for those of you who are new here, you may or may not be aware that it's for an older build of Severed Chains, but we have a functional half Dance Dance Revolution, half Guitar Hero mod for Severed Chains on an older build. It was going to be an April Fool's joke, but the secret was that it wasn't actually going to be a joke. We were going to release it to the public, and we did on April 1st. It was a fake April Fool's joke, and probably hundreds and hundreds of people have played that mod. It's not super flashy. It was really hard for Icarus to create that, but he got all the notes so that there were like 6 different songs of different difficulties, and you could play with the arrow keys or a Guitar Hero guitar if you had that hooked up to your computer, or a dance pad, USB dance pad, which I proved worked. I have a custom dance pad, and one of the first things I did when I got it was I played the mod. And I posted the video to our channel. It was great. Uh-oh. Dart's running out of HP, I think. 3 HP. Okay, we'll heal you up. So yeah, lots of stuff, whether it's typical kinds of mods or wacky, crazy mod ideas. I really want to see like Mario Party style mods. I've talked about this many times. In the original Mario Party, there's a 1v3 scenario where it's like 3 protagonist characters versus one of the other characters in a Bowser suit. And that's some fun asymmetric gameplay. I want to do something like that with LOD, but instead of a Bowser suit for the single person team, it'll be a Frugal suit. And you can just bash people with the club or chuck boulders. I think that would be one of the funniest things ever to do in the modding scene for LOD. I would love to see that happen. I'm also a massively huge fan of the facelift minigame in Mario Party. I think it's like Bowser, and the minigame will like choose a random dysmorphing of the face, and then the players have to match that dysmorphing of the, I don't know, how do you call, the face is modified, and you have to like lengthen the eyebrows or widen the lips or expand the cheeks. Got to do that with LOD. Have a facelift minigame, and it be more than just one face. We'll have all the main characters' faces, DeBoss's face, creatures, you know, and everyone's trying to match it up and look at points based on their performance, or even do a similar thing and it not be like matching the morphed faces, but like doing face chiseling. Because I think there's one where you chisel on like a jackhammer or something. You're riding like a jackhammer pogo stick, and you're chiseling out like Boo or something. And we could also have a mini game for treasure hunting, because the boss is looking for treasure, canonically speaking. And the Pocket Station minigame has him digging underground for treasure too. And we could have like 4 different characters helping Devos find treasure in that Mario Party style minigame. I have some fond memories of Mario Party, apparently. There's also one with like slot cars, and it just got like Mario's face on a slot car, Wario's face on a slot car. It's kind of weird to look at, but I would like to see, you know, just Dart's whole head sticking into slot car would be fun. Dumb, silly, zany things. We could also do lots of crossover mods. I never really got into Rayman, but you could have a Rayman mod where it's just you've got the hands, but then like the arms would be de-rendered and made invisible. These 3D models here, they're all in parts. So the head is a part, the arms are a part. I could probably even just show this off, so I'll probably do that at the end. Yeah, after I fight Frugal. Gotta hurry up and fight Frugal so I can show you the things that are really interesting to me. But yeah, that's a possibility. A Rayman mod. Weapon modding. We've already got a working candy cane and a few other things that were more hacked in. It's not a proper part of the modding API yet, but lots of fancy things are going to be coming. To start with, we're doing the graphics overhaul. This will be coming out hopefully before summer. Not giving a date. But then after that, we're finally going to be able to go back to expanding the modding API, which is super exciting because of a lot of reasons. But the first thing is we're going to be doing a script modding. And that means the dialogue, all the text for the story and everything. And that's good because that means not only English mods, but also other languages can be supported as well. So languages that the game was translated into, some of the fans will tell you like the Italian translation is awful or the voiceover is awful. And we'll be able to replace those files with just better translated stuff from fans at the minimum. It's going to be great. And all those languages that were never originally supported with the official release. Like we can get a Russian mod. Someone made... There's actually more than one Russian mod for LOD for emulation use. It's really weird because it would have been a really big pain in the butt to make that. The Flying Zamboni confirmed that a long time ago. Like it would be a lot of work. Probably even more work than he did because he made a tool to make it a little easier. But there's also another team that's working on a Brazilian Portuguese mod. It's going to be really in-depth. I've been in talks with Andre, one of the project leads. They've signal boosted several chains in turn as a result, so we can keep working towards making this a global community. It's been an amazing experience. And after script modding, there's no order, but eventually we're going to have other things like voice modding. It's going to be so cool. I am thirsty. Hey Sor, good to see you. We are indeed Dragoon enjoyers. So I've been chatting on this mic for a while now, like almost 2 hours, and I'm curious how the quality has sounded. A couple people said it was fine at the start, but now that it's been battle tested for almost 2 hours, does the microphone seem like it's consistently very good quality? Is it as good as I had before, if you know me from the other streams? Because I'm hoping I can make this a keeper now that it has, like, this. I have one of these things. I've never had one of these before. Oop. So hopefully that'll be an awesome experience for me as well to get used to that. Thoughts of making a Rouge Light sub game within SC, maybe something like Slay the Spire, but with LED combat instead. Cards. I don't know what that is. I've never played Slay the Spire. I've heard of it a few times. Whenever a room is cleared, you get gold or stat increases, item or equipment to strengthen your team further. Yeah, I do understand that then. That could be done. Someone was actually working on a card game. I assume they'll get back to it eventually. I think it was Denny who made the Battle Rewards mod. They wanted to do some kind of card thing, and I think I was helping them at some point. It's hard to remember. Man, they really don't like Dart. Awesome, Slick. If I call you Slick for short, I'm just gonna keep thinking of Men in Black. I promise I see you as my equal. Ah. All the magic. We gotta get out of here. Volcano! So much enthusiasm in the voice. A little speed up. Alright, off to Frugal. Do I hit any level ups? We'll see. Sorry, you actually know the model. Did I tell you before, or did you actually just guess by looking at it? Yeah, it's a 5-fine AM8 whatever. It's a budget option for now. Oops. It's a budget option. It was like $30. And now it just keeps falling down. Let's tighten that. There we go. Gotta get used to this whole gizmo. It was about $30, and it was the only one that was that cheap and that highly rated and had the arm thingy that comes in and out. It's really, really fun. I've never had that before. Hopefully it'll last me a long time. Alright, we gotta get out of here. Race to the bottom. I'll give Shauna the leather jacket. And if I'm not mistaken... Yeah, so look at Dart's stats. He's 8-9, 10-9 at level 3. Lavitz is 17-18, 12-12. Shauna is 10-13, 17-24. Shauna has 13 defense to Dart's 9, so she's actually not physically weaker than him, apart from, like... Well, even the HP, because she's a level higher right now, but... That's still pretty cool that her defense is higher. Excuse me. Didn't have time to mute the mic there. Sorry. This is a directional mic, apparently, so... Apparently it doesn't catch much sound unless you're speaking directly at it. Run away from the warden. So I was going to do two things. Rayman model demonstration and then multiplayer. We'll do it in that order. Something to know about my sneezes, by the way. I usually don't try to stifle them because it hurts. But my sneezes come out in a few different ways. It's either a regular sneeze, a very, very loud, like torpedo kind of a sneeze, very loud. I don't understand it. Or it sounds like Mario from like the Charles Martinet style Mario. It sounds like a yoo-hoo, but with the achu in front of it. It's really, I don't know. You might hear that at some point. Okay, let's knock out Frugal so we can end the little bit of the thing here. See, we got some burnouts. Can't target anyone but the wardens. Arr. If you got any questions about Severed Chains or the LOD fandom in general, or the game itself, please ask. I have lots of knowledge to offer. One warden down. Harpoon. Rumble's so satisfying. I'm so happy to have Rumble back. You have no idea. It's my favorite features. What's one of your favorite things about LOD? The Rumble. It's the Rumble. Now, let's see. It's only burnouts. I should have bought some spark nets if that's even possible this early. Oh, well. We'll just work them down. I always love these double-sided spears. Like, you never see them again. That could have come back later. Maybe a more deadly-looking version in the Black Castle or something. Volcano. Alright, that's kind of good. You want the Warden to do the power up instead. Body slam, but she's fine. So we'll get him low, and then yeah, it's gonna hurt a little bit more. Nope, never mind. It's a miss. That was satisfying. Lavit's gonna take like 9 damage. Yep. Take the Warden down a little closer, and then we'll start guarding for the gushing magma. Not gushing magma, gushing. Gushing. Gotta be able to pronounce things. Do some heals. Then we'll do some guarding. Ouch, 26 damage. So much for the healing potion. There we go. And now we can finally hit Frugal with everything we got. No problem. Alright, Shauna, you're up. Maximum damage. Oh no! I don't have the automatic. It's set to mash. I looked at the setting. I said that's the one I want. It was not the one I wanted. Grrr. Subverted my own expectations somehow. I was at the controls. That's okay. We'll do additions. Effort with a weak hand. So close to stage 4. It's really hard for me to get stage 4. Without any techniques, anyway. Hey, 2 turns in a row. Why not? Yeah, press and hold is fun. It's nice in between. But I can only do this a few times before I like start losing feeling in my hand. Ouch with the body slams. Ooh, too early. Giant boulder. And that's it. Cool. Level up. And Sean is ahead of the pack. And now for the beta models. Maybe we'll get a good look at that. Let's see, is pause working? Let's see. Oop. I did not have the right screen up. Alright, frame advance. Here we go. F9. So if you look closely, there's beta models for everybody. Dart is more orange. Shauna is really low res. And Lavitz, his hair is something else. With that giant bouncy jump. His hair is something else. Look at that cute little model. Okay. So we got through Helena Prison, no problem. We're going to save, and then I will show you a couple things. Save. Saving instant instead of taking like 10 or 15 seconds. Saving is a lot slower on the world map in retail, so I'm really glad that that's not a thing anymore. Okay. Now we quit. And then I need to figure out how I'm going to do this really quickly. So let's say models, playable characters, Dart. Let's see if this still opens. Looks like it. All right, let's do this and activate this. Let's do a longer one, actually. Let's say do Moonstrike, why not? Close this one. That is up close and personal. I think I just didn't finish doing the camera work for this one, and that's what's going on here. So maybe I'll try Crush Dance. I definitely did Crush Dance. Yeah, that should be fine. So we'll get rid of this one. Okay. So normally this is what Crush Dance looks like. It's pretty smooth. Hello, Alessi. You're asking, will the HD scenery mod come out with the 3.0 or will it be added later? It will be later. I don't know when. You'll have to check in with the authors on Discord, but so far they're expecting to have to redo some of the work, so it may take a little bit, but we'll see. It's been years in the making. They're not gonna quit on it. It's gonna get done at some point. I just don't know when. Unfortunately, it's a long wait, but it will still be worth it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, for all of these animation files, there are different objects. One is his head, one is his shoulder plate, one is his leg, you know. And the idea of a Rayman style mod, I guess, would be to only have the hands. So we would delete this object, and I guess delete that object, and delete that object, and that object. I don't know if, I guess that'll work. Okay. I think it's just the arms and legs, right, for Rayman? Now, the way these objects are divided up isn't perfect, but loosely speaking, if I turn the light up a little bit and I go back to, what was it, Control 0, Control space. I don't remember how to get that view back. View, Control numpad 0. Okay, well, that should be good enough. So this might be what a Rayman mod would look like. Maybe if I do it like that. There we go. So no arms and legs, just the hands and the feet and I guess the body. There's no in between for the neck, so I'm just going to have to keep it like that. But maybe I could move the head up. Can I move the head up and have that apply to the whole animation is the question. Nope. It's only for that one frame. Okay. So that's kind of what Rayman mode would look like, I guess, without any advanced edits. It's kind of funny to watch. Okay, and then hopefully Ninchi is still here, so I can show off the co-op. So let me find that really quick. Where is the co-op build? Builds. Other builds. OpenGL, no. Test builds. From March 2023, so almost exactly 2 years ago. I have no idea what this is. Test mod, controller support, Japan demo monster stats. I don't know if it's in here even. Stable, stable, stable. HK test? No. Test builds. That broke. I don't know why it broke. What was that multiplayer build called? Just give me a minute and I'll see if I can find it. Let's see. What would I name this? I should have named it something obvious. I can check for a date. If I need to, I can just go back to that. Oh wait, I could just run it off the branch. Let me see. Can I run IntelliJ run 2 instances? Run edit configurations. I might just do it that way. Excuse me. Select the application. Click modify options drop down. Allow multiple instances. Cool. Okay, we're gonna do it the special way. Wish me luck, because I don't know if this is gonna work the way I hope it will. So first we need to go to. I'm gonna fetch the list of branches, and we have main dot. I hope he didn't remove it. Main dot menu states, menu rewrite, OpenGL, Christmas, number fix, region, lots of enemies, good rendering, battle menu, AT, banana, animated overlay, 60 FPS battle test, battle asset deduping. Ah, here it is. Main.net. Hopefully this works. Are we ready? Oh, hello, Mary. I was just about to pull up the old multiplayer demo to see if that still works today. Let's see if it actually runs. It's gotten you through a lot and you're happy there's so many people that love it so much. Yeah, the fandom is a lot larger than any of us anticipated. I think tens and tens and tens of thousands of us, and a really dedicated and loving community by far. Like, doing whatever we can to give the game some extra attention. Java does not exist. Do I have to refresh Gradle? Maybe that's why. And try it now. Please run, please run, please run, please run. 60 warnings, 70 warnings. Come on, go, 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 go. It's turning on. Is it turning on? Process finished with exit code. Disconnected from the virtual machine. Okay. I may have to just clear my files because they're unpacked differently. Let me do that really quickly. Bear with me. We're gonna get rid of the version file. And it'll re-unpack, and hopefully that'll be enough. Yeah, it definitely does. Okay, I think I got it working. I think so. This is a really old build. I don't know how bad it's going to be. Here, let's see if I can. Okay. All right, Ninshi, I'm going to do this just for you and anyone else who's curious. I'm going to get this operational. This old dinosaur build. So the reason I do it this way is because deleting the files in Windows is slower than if Severed Chains deletes them for us. And then it'll re-unpack to the state it needs for this old build. It shouldn't take more than a moment. Maybe I'll fire up some music while I wait. I don't want that one, I think. Maybe I will. Okay. That one's fine. So it's counting down the files. The unpacker was slower at this point as well. Bum, 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 bum. Come on. Don't think I recognize your name, Mary. Are you new to the community, or you've been around a while and I just don't remember you? There's too many fans to keep track of. But either way, we've got lots of awesome stuff going on all the time. Always worth a look. Almost done with the files. And let's see here. 400 files. Oh my gosh, it's actually running? Okay, I have to remember how to do this, so bear with me. I have to remember how to do this. Jeez. No. Let's go back to like this one. Oh, stretched submaps. No. All right. Options. What options did we have back then? Widescreen when possible. Dragoon edition. Text advance. We did not have. Yes, we did have full screen. Okay, good. Good, good, good. All right. So. Let me figure out how I'm going to display this. I'm going to do this, and we're going to run another instance. Give me 2. You can do it. Okay, I'm going to try to... Oh my god. I can't see what I'm doing. Okay, no input on an active window. That's good. No input on an active window. That's good. Okay. So I might just have to do this a little bit smaller than I was expecting. We'll do it about like that. And we'll put this one maybe about like this. And I gotta mute one of them, so I'll hold up. Let me, there we go. Okay. Are we ready to see multiplayer? Hi, Nick. Welcome to the party. Eric, hello. It was an impromptu stream, so you didn't get much notice anyway. I understand. It was just me easing back into the live streaming because a lot has been going on for me. So it was kind of like a revisiting the Road to Rec Build 3 series I used to do. Now, it actually doesn't matter what the second player is doing. It matters what the first player is doing. So, let me demonstrate. We're gonna... Well, I guess I should probably mute the other one. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open the debugger down here. And we're going to bring that down a little bit and open the debugger over here. We got 2 Severed Chains clients running, okay? Makes sense. Now, this version, this branch of Severed Chains on the repo is very old, but it has some extra buttons, okay? This little server and client button over here. So I can click to initialize a server, and I don't know if I need a port. I don't remember. Do I need a port? Do I need a port? I don't know. 8,000? Hey, look at that. Windows Firewall. And it should have opened a port. And then client, localhost, port 8,000. We're connected. I'm in the way, but that's the client screen over there, and I just connected to myself, if I'm not mistaken. So now, on the host, we can pick an encounter. Number 42. It's a good number. How about that? Synchronized multiplayer battle. Oh, it even hit the same character. I don't know if that's supposed to be by design or what. Okay. So as you can see, on the left side, one person is playing as Kongol and has the battle bar active. The other team has a battle bar, but no options to select because it's not their turn. And this is on the really old build, and I'm still like grinning like crazy here. This is so much fun. I revisit it every several months just to remind myself of what we're shooting for, what I'm shooting for personally. Now, nothing is synchronized except guard. Okay, this took a lot of work, so only guard is supposed to be synchronized. So when I guard with Kongol on the left screen, it should show Kongol guarding over here. Watch the right screen. Okay, we've already got a desync. It happened for Maru. I don't know why. And now I've got Maru. She's going to guard. And then, so for whatever reason, there's desync sometimes. But the idea is that the guard command is supposed to be sent between the host and the client to synchronize whose turn it is. And it was not fully working, is the thing. Now that results in some funky stuff. You might notice that these icons are flashing a little faster than normal. So if I choose attack, 2 characters attack at the same time and it crashed. No bueno. No bueno. And now this one's going to be locked in a soft lock. But that's how it works. So if I stop all instances and restart, and I choose some basic additions, that's literally what happened the first time I did it. They both attacked and it crashed, and I screamed right in Corey's ear. It was terrible. All right, let's run 2 instances. Got some loud wind blowing outside because of the tornado warning. All right, let's try that again. I don't actually know which one of these is which. Okay, so we'll do this, and we'll do this, and we're gonna do continue. Here we're in Fort Magrad, that's fine. This one, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna unmute one of these. All right, we're gonna start a server. 8,000. Host. There's no message for host, I guess. Client. Local host for 8,000. It may or may not be like this when we actually release it someday. It might be better. But for now, this was the skeleton that we worked with. Let's try encounter number 108. I wonder who's on 108. And we're going to set up the party a little bit. So let's choose who's in the party. Who's in the party? We'll probably have Dart in the middle just in case it increases stability here. And I want some quick additions, I think. Okay, encounter 108. Here we go. Is there a way to make the combo additions as a feature rather than a game crashing bug? Yes, of course. Of course we could do that. It was so much fun to encounter it as a, like, the first ever double additions are a bug. Can you imagine? That's so weird. Alright, we already had a desync technically, but that's fine. So the game thinks it's Haschel's turn. Oh, wait. We both get an action? This looks bad. I don't know. This might go bad. But yeah, so guarding is mostly synchronized. I feel like I would have to just run one character so it is never going to desync, I guess is the key to this. It's really weird. It's desync city over here. Okay, now I have a battle bar while... So someone's guarding while someone's taking damage there. This is nuts. The whole thing is going crazy now. Alright, Rose's turn. Now Rose's turn again, I guess. I don't know what's happening anymore. It's gotten really bad somehow. Oh, 2 enemies attacked at once! I've never seen that before. Dude, 2 enemies. 2 enemies just attacked at once. How is that even possible? What the frack? I've never seen that before. I did not expect to see something new all of a sudden on this stream tonight. I was supposed to be showing you something that's old. Okay, 2 characters guarding at once. That I think is also new. No, wait, it's not new. It's not new because I've tested this before. Okay. We're fine. Everything is fine. I want to get the double additions, so I need that battle bar to stack up. Sometimes it tries to bring up 2 characters' turn at the same time. It's really funky. Alright. Just gonna mess it up on purpose, see what happens. This is so crazy to be like tracking both of these clients at once. Yeah. Pretty gnarly. Let's try it. I think on the client side is where it was desyncing better. Not sure. Come on. Give me the stacked up battle bar. I think I have to like make them... How do I do this? Let's put these closer together. I think what I have to do is like I have to get rid of 2 of these enemies, but I don't know how that's gonna work. Maybe if I do that. Bear with me. These crafty thieves are not working for me. They're taking too many turns. They're slowing things down. Let me see here. Okay, I just lost access to the battle bar. Come on, stack it up. There we go. Okay, it's stacked. You see the thing is moving faster. All right, let's do an addition. Still crashed. I don't know why it's crashing. Sometimes it crashes, sometimes it won't. But believe me, there's footage of it in the Discord server buried somewhere. It's pretty gnarly. Anyway, so that's as much as I can probably show you for now. We still saw something new. We saw two enemy characters attacking at once. I am quite certain I've never seen that before. That's pretty crazy. But this is the rudimentary, the crude implementation is one person is the host, one person is the client, and you can guard, but like there will be desyncs like crazy because, you know, bug fixes need to happen. But it was fun to see what other crazy things could be possible. Actually, you know what? I could still well, the other things aren't too interesting. They don't actually happen simultaneously. They just happen one after the other. But you can do one after the other D magic and one after the other, I think it's item magic. It's kind of funky to see that as well. But for now, I will just end it there, I think. I am pretty darn tired. I'm going to watch my limit. But I thank you all so much for joining me on the dev stream. This is not a dev stream. The non-dev stream, little beta party that I wanted to do, a little impromptu tonight. Thank you all. Even though there was like 0 advance notice, there will be more advance notice next time. Strong thank you to all of my Ko-fi supporters. Let me see. Let's go back up to the big view for now. And let me see. What was I doing? Ko-fi supporters. So in the month of March so far, I have Leningrad, Lil Blue, Matthew, Monomoto, the Fat 13 is back, Tom CQ, and Blitz. Thank you all so much for your support. It means the world to me. I'm going to keep leveling things up and improving our services as best I can. I will put a link to my Ko-fi in the chat if anyone feels so inclined and feels that the stuff we do is worthwhile, but never any pressure. And I hope to see you all real soon. We got a really exciting time coming up. It's still our golden age. We've had the big Dragoon Fest stuff recently with the new reveals on lore and messages from the developers and all this crazy stuff going on. Severed Chains is leveling up. It couldn't be better, I don't think. But we're going to keep making it better anyway. Because we have to. Because we need to. Because it's in our blood. Volcano! And every other addition shout that is just surging within us at any given moment. I really appreciate you all, and we'll see you soon. Take care. How do I actually do this again? I forgot. There we go.